Welcome to this place called Earth and the project, Somatic Inversions, decoding the signals beneath behavior. In this short, the inversion of pain, why all suffering begins with dissonance. Before we begin, take a slow breath. Feel the rise and fall in your chest. Listen closely to what your body does, not your mind, but your body. This short inversion is one of the deepest yet. What we call pain may not be caused by life at all, but by the dissonance between our body and the meanings we attach to life. Let's go deeper. The body wants coherence. The mind creates meaning. Your nervous system seeks one thing above all else: internal alignment, congruence, physiological truth, the whole self moving together in one signal. But your mind does the opposite. It creates beliefs, labels, identities, ideologies, stories, projections, expectations, and attachments, and every one of these creates a second internal reality layered on top of the moment. The body lives in what is, the mind lives in what it means. Pain happens between the two. Dissonance creates a split inside the self-dissonance isn't confusion, it's contradiction. It is the internal clash between what your body knows and what your mind insists on, what your nervous system senses and what your belief system tells you to feel. That split isn't psychological, it's biological. Every contradiction becomes a micro-threat because the body interprets internal conflict as we are not safe inside ourselves. This single perception destabilizes the entire system. The nervous system transfers dissonance into physiology. When internal coherence breaks, the autonomic nervous system responds instantly. Sympathetic stress, dorsal shutdown, chronic tension, inflammation, numbness, hypervigilance, exhaustion, digestive problems, and hormonal imbalance. This is not in your head, it's in your state. The nervous system expects internal unity. When the self splits, the body goes into survival mode, and the immune system listens. The immune system doesn't distinguish emotional threat from physical threat. Your immune system responds to shame, fear, contradiction, relational conflict, suppressed somatic truth, physiological state of being present, regulated, identity panic, attachment stress, and internal fragmentation, as if you were physically harmed. Why? Because immune cells have receptors for stress hormones, emotional neurotransmitters, vagal signaling, and threat cues from the brain. Every emotional contraction becomes an immune event. Every internal contradiction becomes inflammation. Every belief in conflict with your body becomes a physiological injury. Attachments are the source of chronic dissonance. When you attach your identity to politics, labels, ideologies, beliefs, group alignment, self-image, moral positions, and personal narratives, you create a permanent secondary self that your biology must defend. And what happens when life contradicts the label? Your system enters defense, threat, rigidity, fear, immune activation, autonomic instability, and internal division. Your body is trying to defend itself, but the mind has convinced it that the belief is the self. This is the inversion. The body cannot tell the difference between my territory is threatened and my ideology is threatened. My life is unsafe and my identity is challenged. I'm being attacked and someone disagrees with me. To the body, threat is threat, conflict is conflict, dissonance is danger, and so the body reacts, even when the danger is conceptual. When the self splits, pain begins. Chronic pain is often misunderstood. It isn't always about injury. It's about internal instability. Pain is the somatic signal of fragmentation, contradiction, self-rejection, emotional suppression, somatic physiological truth denial, belief over embodiment, and identity over presence. Pain says, something inside me is not aligned. Pain is not the enemy, it's the messenger. What heals pain is not positive thinking, but reconnecting to the body's truth. Healing begins the moment you stop trying to negotiate with meaning and start listening to sensation. Your body wants breath, warmth, safety, simplicity, presence, somatic truth, coherence, and wholeness. Pain softens when you stop clinging to what isn't you, you stop defending noise, you stop performing identity, you stop forcing alignment with beliefs, and you let the nervous system return to its natural rhythm. Your body knows the path back. It has never been forgotten. The inversion, we were taught that pain comes from circumstances, illness comes from biology, distress comes from emotion, anxiety comes from thoughts, and suffering comes from the world. But the inversion is this. Pain begins the moment you split from yourself. Dissonance is the root of suffering, not life itself. When the signal of the self fractures, the system collapses into threat. When the self returns to coherence, the system heals. Everything else is noise. So to close this short, pain is not a punishment. Pain is a request. Come back into alignment with yourself. Because when the self becomes whole again, the body stops fighting the mind, the immune system stops fighting the body, and the nervous system finds its center. Coherence is the cure.